Now at 6, an Amber Alert ends with 2 young sisters found safe in Gresham. Coming up, what authorities are saying about the investigation.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
President Donald Trump holding his first official State of the Union address during his second term, what some local lawmakers were doing instead of attending the president's address ahead.
And later, a shocking surprise for Ohio sanitation worker who opened a trash bin only to find a person hiding inside. That story coming up in just 15 minutes. Your news at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. We're taking a look at our Rose City Skycam. You can see just maybe one little car, a couple cars moving through there. It is very foggy out there. We've got a weather impact alert in place to start the morning for this dense fog. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis are keeping an eye on that. And Rod, how long are we expecting this to stick around?
Well, I've got the impact alert up until 8 a.m. for a couple reasons. Number one, the sun pops up shortly before 7 this morning. So I think by 8 o'clock, the sun will be up high enough that just the daylight itself makes it easier to maneuver through the fog. And temperatures in some cases are down around freezing. By 8 o'clock, those temperatures should start to nudge up a little bit as well. So low visibility, potential icy spots. So use caution going around corners, over bridges, that type of thing this morning. Extra distance and time. We showed you the Rose City camera. Here is the camera atop the Wells Fargo building in downtown. And you can see blue sky up top and then fog below. So you get the fast conclusion that the fog we have is pretty shallow, meaning only low level. When you get up into elevation, most of our cameras are showing no fog, including the Oregon Zoo at 600 feet. 33 is the number now at PDX, so hence that risk of some frosty areas as well. 25.25 is a quarter of a mile visibility in Salem. Dense fog around the Portland area as well, but we'll go on to clear it out, have sunshine, 44 at noon. Highs stay up to about 50. Here's Chris.
All right, Rod, here's the fog and there's the drive out of Clark County. The interstate bridge, you can hardly make it out there in the distance. And there's at SR 14, the drive getting a little bit busier on that side of town. But so far, no major trouble there. Over on the west side, foggy here as well. Highway 26 out near Murray Boulevard. Despite that, traffic zipping along just fine as it is on the Banfield. There's a live look, by the way, at the Hawthorne Bridge. Of course, last night closed due to mechanical issues. The bridge itself has reopened. But know this. If you go over the downtown bridges, the Morrison Bridge will be undergoing repeated bridge lifts both today and tomorrow as the county does annual bridge inspections. So Morrison Bridge lifts up to 20 minutes at a time, both today and tomorrow. Those will be fairly frequent, so be aware of that for your morning and afternoon commute. China, Matt?
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says 2 young sisters reported missing have now been found safe.
We told you last night at 11 the Sheriff's Office issued an Amber Alert, and just in the last 2.5 hours, the children were found in Gresham. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live with what investigators are saying about how this unfolded. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, this is the outcome everyone was hoping for. Deputies say they found those girls unharmed this morning, along with their mother, 37-year-old Anne-Marie Quarles. Now, investigators found them around 2:30 this morning in the Gresham area along Northeast Sacramento Street. And the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says the girls were initially reported missing after they were not returned to their father following a scheduled visit earlier this month. Deputies launched an investigation and began searching for the children, concerned for their safety. This after determining the situation involved a violation of a custody order. After requesting an Amber Alert, the Sheriff's Office says they were informed the circumstances did not meet the criteria for one, according to the Oregon State Police, which manages the state's Amber Alert system. Now, investigators say this case is now being forwarded to the district attorney's office as they complete their investigation. Back to you.
Our Corey Johnson reporting live this morning. Corey, thank you very much. Last night, President Donald Trump gave the longest State of the Union address in American history, clocking in at 1 hour and 47 minutes.
President Trump declared the nation has entered a golden age of America. NBC's Tracy Wilkins has a recap.
As President Trump addressed members of Congress for the second year of his second term.
Our nation is back. Bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Divisions between the two parties were evident, especially on issues like the state of the economy.
They caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem.
The president boasted a stronger economy, one of the many issues more than half of Americans believe he's failing on, according to recent polling. Trump also made his case on his tariffs in front of the Supreme Court justices who recently ruled limiting his ability to levy them.
But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made.
The president touted ending wars while promising he will not allow Iran to pursue a nuclear weapon.
I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon.
Several Democrats boycotted the speech, while some who were there at times shouted in protest, especially apparent when the president accused Democrats of supporting sanctuary cities and not his immigration policies.
They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
It was a point Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger addressed in the Democratic response.
Our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans, and they have done it without a warrant.
Spanberger also countered questioning if Americans are the ones who are benefiting most from the president's policies.
The scale of the corruption is unprecedented.
In Washington, Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.
Meanwhile, many Oregon congressional delegates skipped the State of the Union address.
Just 3 attended the speech. Others held town halls or attended protest events. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now. So, Thomas, why did so many local lawmakers decide to skip this speech?
Well, guys, some, like Representative Suzanne Bonamici, said they wouldn't attend to listen to the president lie, demonize immigrants, and threaten democracy. Instead, she held a telephone town hall. Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley also skipped the State of the Union and instead took calls from constituents.
When you're done with the exaggerations, when you've heard all the untruths, you're still not getting anything that resembles our state.
The senators answered questions about tariffs, the Epstein files, immigration, and more. Some concerned citizens did make the trip to Washington, D.C. to attend a rebuttal to President Trump's speech called the State of the Swamp. They showed up in frog suits, which have become popular outside of the Portland ICE facility in protest. Representative Maxine Dexter was also in attendance for that. Here's what she had to say.
Joy is resistance. Creativity is resistance. Community is resistance.
Now, one of the 3 Oregon congressional delegates to attend the State of the Union was Janelle Bynum, though she says in a quote, "It was more of the same divisive BS. I can't say I'm surprised." Matthew, China.
Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thomas, thank you very much. A Multnomah County judge is allowing a controversial Portland ballot initiative to move forward.
It would take city money designated for clean energy projects and use it to hire more Portland police officers, mixing environmental and public safety funding. Activists challenged the initiative in court, arguing it violates Oregon law about combining unrelated subjects into one initiative. The judge sided with the initiative's backers. The effort would divert a quarter of the Portland Clean Energy Fund to police funding each year, likely totaling tens of millions of dollars annually. A city attorney told the judge that the clean energy money, known as PCEF funds, can be used anywhere.
There's nothing special about the clean energy surcharge that would prevent council from passing a new ordinance or making new findings that say the clean energy surcharge will be allocated to any number of uses.
PCEF generates money through a 1% tax on large retailers. For years, it has brought in much more than analysts projected it would. City leaders are also looking at the funds to potentially help pay for a Moda Center renovation. If the proposal gets enough signatures, Portlanders could vote on it in November. Cute! We all know and love Punch the monkey, and now the Portland Pickles are throwing their support behind the little guy, posting these pictures on their social media, replacing Punch's stuffed monkey with Dylan T. Pickle, along with the caption, "Punch just needs a friend." And for those who are unfamiliar, Punch lives at a zoo in Japan and has gone viral for his love of his monkey plushie right there. He has been seen carrying it around his enclosures and is sleeping with it. It looks like he always wants it to cuddle him. Other videos have also shown other monkeys shoving and bullying Punch, leaving him only his emotional support plushie as comfort. And apparently the president and chief sustainability officer of IKEA Japan donated multiple replacements of Punch's toy as well as new plushies for him.
Stop ganging up on Punch. He's just a little guy.
I cried way too many times over a little monkey I have never met in the past week.
You've cried over him?
Yes, because he was getting bullied and then he would run away to his plushie. It was so you didn't find it sad? You don't have a heart.
It was sad. I didn't cry.
It was sad.
Cute.
We love him.
I don't want to come across as a horrible person, but I'm kind of on Team Matthew here.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the video then.
You're right, I haven't.
Thank you.
All right, we mentioned earlier in the show that the fog we do have is pretty shallow, meaning when you get up in elevation just a tad, you get out of it. And here's evidence of that from our Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. Look at the beautiful blue sky, looking at the shallow fog laying down over the vineyard. Really pretty shot this morning. And it is freezing 32, and we always really point out that when we have freezing temperatures with fog, that can produce slick spots. So use caution going over bridges, around corners, that type of thing this morning. And especially before we get some daylight going, make sure you really leave extra room between yourself and the car ahead of you. So dense fog spots defined by 1/4 of a mile visibility or less. So that's roughly 1/10 of a mile visibility in Portland, 1/4 in Scappoose and Hillsborough. Again, everything that's kind of chalked in white reporting reduced visibility, including Salem with 1/4 of a mile visibility, and also some fog in the Tillamook area this morning. Here are the temperatures. Freezing in Battleground, Vancouver, Scappoose 34. Forest Grove is at 31 this morning. 31 in Estacada as well, but Salem is holding above at 38, and Albany's all the way up to 41 degrees. There are solid clouds when you get down near that Lane County line down into Eugene this morning. That's where the cloud flow has dropped, the cloud flow that brought us the rain the last couple of days. But today we open up sunshine once we lose the fog, and really a nice day. And just like that, the 7-day forecast is now completely dry. Look at that. 50 today, 53 tomorrow, mid-50s for the weekend. All right, that's your update.